with an inlet, let's say you've got your front door, that's your inlet.
I like to go with the wind.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
fight it.
So that's another one. So one of them
I've seen ventilation
Yep.
get set up against the wind, and it's really hard to.
So you've got
to be
wind.
effective.
So that comes in 2 points. Is number one is obviously for your inlet using your wind, it helps. It's going to advance what you're doing. But also if you're make your outlet on the south end of the house and you've got a big breeze blowing it back in or something like that, or blowing that direction, you're really going to be fighting it. There's no point. So that's wind's one thing you've got to take into factor there. Number two is the main rule of thumb when you're doing your inlets and outlets is where possibly your inlet is larger than your outlet, creating that positive pressure, using the front door, and then whether you crack a window at the back or you half open door for the outlet, making it a smaller point, creating that positive pressure, it's going to help exit that. So we'll go larger inlet. And then the third factor to kind of take into consideration when you're ventilating, you guys know what else you'd kind of, so you've looked for, and it kind of goes in hand to hand of the wind, and it refers to the outlet. So basically, where are you pushing the smoke to? Not so much in a house fire, but you've got a unit fire and you're on one of the lower floors. You're going, great, let's crack this window here. Crack it. The wind's coming back in the house, you're venting the smoke straight up, it's just going to blow back into someone's unit straight above there. So that's the third point. Yeah, where are you pushing to? So that, so it goes hand in hand with your wind, whether you're using the wind to help ventilate, but also where the outlet is, what's that wind going to do to affect. When we can't really, or whether we're doing a hand in hand with compartment, or whether it's a structure where compartment kind of ventilation can't be done, there's 4 types of methods that we use for ventilating. First one is single fan, which is basic, your one fan. We all carry a fan, got a house fire, set up the fan. The fan's big enough to seal the inlet, all good to go. Parallel, do you guys know what the method for parallel ventilation is?
Just next to each other.
Yep. So whether it's
if it's a roller door, that's
exactly. You've got a factory, you've got a roller door. One fan's not going to seal the inlet, so it's not going to be venting properly. Get another cruise fan. You've got 2 side by side. That's big enough to cover that seal of the inlet. Pushing that in there, perfect. Series attack.
In line.
Yep, beautiful. One behind each other.
Yeah.
So that comes into play where obviously. If you've got a bigger structure, one fan's going to take a long time to slowly pressurise that area, push it out. Or where you've got maybe places potentially self-ventilated to an extent where, well, not so much self-ventilated, but there's an outlet which we didn't create. Something's broken, something's collapsed. We can't really make it much smaller, so just basically to increase the pressure. They said your series. If you've got a bigger fan and a smaller fan, you want to put your bigger fan closest to the inlet. That way it doesn't actually have to be sealing the inlet. It's a lot closer pressure on that small fan just behind, just covering the inlet there. And the third one, which is called VTAC, or VTAC, sorry. Do you guys know what that is, or how that's set up?
Let's take a guess. I think it's when you try and get a large area.
Yep.
And you actually face them out a bit to, like if it's a big door or if it's.
Yeah. So it's a combination of your parallel and your series. So generally, if you've got, as I said, you've got either a wide door there, you can either set up one fan here, one fan both angling in that way. The reason you do that one is if for some reason, whatever it may be, firefighters actually still need to use that inlet, whether it's kind of a situation where we've discovered a patient or something like that, we need to bring someone out or we're taking stuff in, fires can still walk in and out of the gap, you're not stepping over a fan trying to get in and out. It's not really recommended that we keep walking in and out of the outlet because we're breaking the seal of the air there, but it can be done. Another reason for doing it is if you've actually got, whether you've got a really tall gap and your one fan doesn't cover, you put one fan covering the bottom half of the door, the other fan pushing up to the top and covering the top. And the third way to run it is, if you've got a really wide door, you have one fan there, you grab a third fan and have that back there. So that's just more pressure if you've got a huge, really large structure. Obviously the more fans you run, the better it's going to be. So in summary, that's basically, it's good we all seem to be on the same page. Everyone kind of has an understanding of how we as a group would do ventilation. And right there, as I said, in the next training drill I'll run, we'll actually go over the fan. And most of us are pretty good with that. We know what's going on, but just whether things have changed. So you guys have all been in the job a lot longer than I have. Equipment's always changing, and procedures on doing your sims check and things like that. So we'll run over that and we'll have a bit of a play around with that and just the setup and the positioning of things, and I'll go through a bit more theory in that one as well. So, but in regards to what I've gone through now, is that you guys, we basically ran it with feedback and questions while we're running it, but is there anything else you're not understanding or you want?
Well, just with the other ventilation, you have the branch itself. You're inside a building and you got to, if you put like a spray coming out, it'll draw.
Yeah, for sure. Whether you got a line of
situation where you can't get a fan up to a top level, you can use the branch and.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's two that I didn't go through. There's also that form there where you basically crack the branch, you've sealed a window, and you're actually going to draw the air out. In regards to that, also careful of what's on the other side. I mean, you've got it on a bit of a mist, so it's spraying. It's not pushing too much water out, but that's really good. Whereas where you can't actually get the fan in there, they're kind of things I was going to run through in the other drill. But even as we touch on that now, and the third one is a lot of the hazmat guys and that they've got electric fans now, especially in the city where you don't want the CO from the from the fuel and everything like that being pushed into the buildings. They've got electric fans, so they're really helpful, and that's you can basically set them up anywhere and you're not worried.
Because that would be an issue with series, setting up fans in series when
the
exhaust from the first fan.
That's what you You've got that hose, but you know that hose is 1.5 meters, 2 meters long. Trying to push it away there. They're things you've got to take into place. Where it kind of comes in hand whether like you can put up with a CO that's going in there because it's going to ventilate and push it out anyway. But they're things you've got to keep in mind of. Especially when you're doing the series, when you've got one in front of the other, you're actually pushing.
Because there are times where you're ventilating for visibility purposes.
Yep.
So it might still be a high CO level, etc., but you can actually see what you're doing. Crews inside are safe because they can see drip hazards, etc., Or it might be complete ventilation where you're removing all the fire gases, etc., and making the atmosphere, putting out the outside atmosphere.
Yep. Good. Cool. And that's another one. That's why also fires have to be in full BA, not the P2 dust mask until obviously it's all the air's clear and things like that. Obviously, because you're going to be pumping the CO back into it.
Very good, Ben.
Anyone else?
Any other questions?
All good? No? Beautiful. All right. Thank you very much for listening. Beautiful.
Well done.
Thanks, Ben.
All right.